The city of Nashville rested under the quiet glow of a moonlit sky, its streets nearly deserted save for the occasional hum of a car passing through. Detective Karen Matthews sat in her patrol vehicle, her fingers drumming against the steering wheel as she scanned the empty roads. Over a decade in law enforcement had honed her instincts, at least. That's what she told herself. But tonight, everything felt routine. The neon signs of all-night diners flickered against the damp pavement, reflecting in distorted colors, when Karen's gaze landed on a lone woman walking along the sidewalk. The woman was tall, poised, and dressed in sharp business attire. Every movement exuded confidence, from the rhythmic click of her heels to the steady grip on a polished leather handbag. The sight sent an unexplainable twinge through Karen's mind. A well-dressed woman alone at this hour? It didn't fit her expectations. Unconscious bias whispered in her ear, feeding the questions that rose instinctively, without just cause. Karen's patrol car rolled forward, headlights bathing the woman in harsh illumination, turning an ordinary stroll into an interrogation under a spotlight. Naomi Bennett, the woman in question, slowed her pace, but displayed neither fear nor surprise. Instead, she turned toward the patrol vehicle, her posture exuding an air of defiance masked in calm. Karen lowered her window. Her voice, edged with authority, cut through the quiet night. "Do you live around here?" The question wasn't friendly. It was an accusation wrapped in formality. Naomi tilted her head slightly, eyes catching the glare of the police lights. "Are you speaking to me?" she asked, voice steady, devoid of submission. Karen's irritation flickered. A woman like her, a black woman, dressed with an air of success, wasn't supposed to be so composed under scrutiny. Across the street, another patrol car cruised by. Sergeant William Carter observed the scene from behind his windshield. No crime, no disturbance, just an officer questioning a citizen without cause. He exhaled, tightening his grip on the wheel. He had seen this play out too many times before, an unnecessary stop, escalating tension, and an outcome that never favored the person being questioned. He could have intervened, asked Karen what the issue was, but instead, he drove past, choosing the comfort of silence. Karen leaned forward, her gaze sharpening. "You match the description of a suspect we're looking for." A lie, one she had used before. Naomi's jaw tightened, but her expression remained calm. "What description exactly?" Karen smirked. "Tall, black, well-dressed, walking alone. There have been recent thefts in the area." Naomi barely suppressed her disbelief. The absurdity of it was blatant, yet all too familiar. "Do you have any evidence?" she asked, her tone careful but firm. Karen didn't need evidence. She had authority. "Show me your ID." Naomi knew the rules of the game. Compliance was never a guarantee of safety, but resistance was an open invitation for trouble. Slowly, she reached into her bag to retrieve her wallet. Karen's hand shot to her holster. "Take your hands out of the bag now." Naomi froze, palms open and visible. The quiet tension of the night thickened. Across the street, Walter Jennings, an elderly cafe owner, had been watching. A man in his 60s with gray hair and tired eyes. He had witnessed too much injustice in his lifetime. This time, he refused to be a bystander. Slowly, he pulled out his phone and began recording. "I haven't done anything wrong," Naomi said, her voice restrained but edged with anger. "Walking isn't a crime." "Turn around," Karen ordered. Naomi knew she had no choice. As she complied, she felt the cold steel of handcuffs snap around her wrists. From his car, Sergeant Carter saw everything. His fingers pressed against the steering wheel, indecision gripping him. He could stop this. He should stop this. But the weight of years spent ignoring these moments kept him rooted in place. The patrol car sped through the night, Naomi seated in the back, wrists bound, the metal cuffs biting into her skin. Yet what unsettled her most was the smug satisfaction radiating from Karen. At the station, Officer Lindsey Howard barely glanced up as they entered. A smirk tugged at her lips as she took in the sight of Naomi. "Another one," she remarked, giving Naomi a scrutinizing once-over. Karen scoffed. "Uncooperative. Likes to cause trouble." Naomi's gaze met Lindsay's, not with fury, but with a quiet exhaustion. "So, walking home is now an arrestable offense? Lindsey shrugged. No, but your attitude might be. Karen let out a low chuckle. Come on, Lindsey. Don't be too hard on her. She's probably just waiting for someone to come save her. She turned to Naomi. Is there anyone you want to call? Naomi clenched her jaw, keeping her composure. I have the right to a phone call. Karen crossed her arms, pretending to consider it before shaking her head. No, you refused to cooperate from the start, so I don't owe you that courtesy. Across the room, Sergeant Carter leaned against the wall, watching. He saw the unfair treatment. He saw Karen and Lindsey deliberately making things worse for Naomi. But like always, he said nothing. Karen grabbed Naomi's arm, dragging her toward the holding cells. The heavy metal door slammed shut behind her. Naomi closed her eyes and inhaled deeply. She didn't know how far this would go, but she knew one thing. It wasn't over yet.